When Donna got her money through for her budget, we decided it was quite a short time from the date of the budget to starting, and we had to recruit quite quickly. I knew one or two people locally that I knew had been in the care profession and so on before, but were no longer. And I did, by word of mouth, make sure that those messages got out. Actually, all we did was put a small advert in the local newspaper, and we had a tremendous response. The response was not only from people from brand new and nothing to do with the care profession, but practically every person who'd previously looked after through the years in residential care, all wanting to apply for this job, which seems so easy now to look after one person from the point of view of the person applying. So basically all we did was that, put an advert together and place it in the local newspaper, and the response was very good, and word of mouth again. I discussed with locally there's a trust, a charity that look after things via the direct payments via the local authority, Pendrell's Trust, and they gave some ideas that they'd given some sort of previous copies and so on. For me, I just put personal assistant wanted to support and care for somebody in their own home. It was a real short. Most of the information wasn't on the advert. It was really quite factual and quite straightforward. But I took quite a long time putting together a job description, which I grabbed from everywhere else, the usual traditional ways, and then tweaked according to what I thought was appropriate for Donna, emphasising really that it was person-centred, emphasising that it was someone with particular needs around autism and so on. And I also, yes, with the job description, so put that together in our own way. We asked, when the job descriptions went out, we also asked for a little bit of a write-up about the person. So along with the actual job description, there was a bit of a, what have you done before, a little bit of history and so on, over and above the CV. And we sent out quite a bit about Donna as well, two-way. So that went out along with everything else, the usual sort of formal things, and the feedback was quite interesting. Most people were people who had already been in the care profession. One or two people had no idea about the job. So we filtered it down really, and Donna was involved all the way through the interview. What we did was ask people to come here to the house so that they could have a look at the house. They could see Donna in her own environment, and she could see them. And we shortlisted them really by MVQs, and they were assessors, and they were MVQ people, and they were care workers. There was actually, I did this on my own, but alongside it I did have one or two members of the family who also wanted to look at everything, which is nice really, to have a bit of a circle. So there were kind of professional people, but it was more interesting to me to see whether or not they would answer things like they could have time to take Donna away on holiday. That when I asked questions about what is being person-centred in the application, the replies back really. So it was gone not just on experience; it was actually more a feel about the type of person. And we shortlisted. Also, age wasn't. One thing that was important, Donna doesn't particularly like having male workers. So in this case, Donna's preference was definitely for ladies, because she'd proven time and time again in her previous environment that she didn't like men. So ladies, but it didn't matter whether the person was younger or older. It mattered what was the content of their replies from the job description. So we shortlisted. Both wrote and phoned to ask people if they would come to see us, and spent a couple of busy days, didn't we, Donna? Donna, asking lots of questions, and you said, would you take me to the swimming pool? And would you take me to the seaside, please? Yes. And Donna was very, very involved in her own way. She actually, I could tell, she likes people by the way they approach her. If they speak to her in a certain way, she's interested in them, what they're wearing. All those things were important, how they behaved around her. And there was 4 people that actually just shone out above all the others. They were just happy people. Donna really liked the style of the way they spoke, the way they approached her. They talked to her. Yes, and they offered to take you to the seaside. Thank you. So so what we did from the very beginning, really, Donna opened the door and asked everybody to come in, and that fazed a few people, even just having someone like Donna answer the door. So straight away we weighed these things up. Their coats had to be taken off forcibly as soon as we came in. Again, they had to sort of accept that Donna would be quite involved with them. She tidied them up as they were sitting down, and made them a nice cold cup of tea. Yeah, tea. Who do you make? Yeah, teacups. Well, that's the sort of thing, actually. She did sit down on the interviews, and she did participate. She would listen to what I was saying, and then certain key words she would know, and then she got the idea that I perhaps hadn't said something, so she'd prompt me, and it was really interesting. It was all her favourite things. She mentioned all the things that are important to her, so that was good. I did feel like she was taking part. Anyway, we got through the interview, and it was very apparent very easily. Some people were really at ease with Donna, whether they understood about autism. They were just naturally at ease in the house and the environment. Other people, perhaps it wasn't for them. We made our choices, and took on board at the time. There were 4 people who started with Donna. It's over a 24-hour period, 7 days a week, so obviously there's shifts. And out of the 4, what I did was, there were 3 people that we went on. Just 2 had worked in. One lady had worked with people with older people, so she was a care assistant. In fact, she's still a care assistant because she's self-employed, and she works with Donna alongside her at the job. Someone else had known and worked with Donna years ago, and left the establishment because she didn't approve of certain managerial rules and regulations at the home she was working at. But I knew that she'd been a key worker and was very good with Donna. So everybody had applied, but these people obviously, had those 2. I didn't know the one lady, but the other lady I did, and that helped. I think it helped Donna having one face that was someone she knew. The other girl was just so lively and so much fun, and you just knew that she was going to take Donna swimming, and she was going to do all the crazy things that Donna likes to do, like putting cushions and having little play fights and silly things around the house and so on, and there'd never be a dull moment, and I was proven absolutely right with that. She's a bit of a wild card, but she's absolutely fabulous. She's just so much fun. And the 4th lady at the time was, again, she had a history of always working in care, particularly learning disability. She'd headed wards, and she was an MVQ assessor, verifier. She had every kind of training that you could imagine, medication training, and I did. That's the only thing I was concerned about. I thought I must make sure that somebody here knows how to risk assess and all these things. And I was really thinking she might be the guide for the others, really. But how wrong can you be? Because we started up, and it was very apparent from very early days that the person with all the professional expertise actually didn't get on that well with Donna. And every shift that we had, there would be a phone call, and Donna would be upset and distressed, and the lady couldn't cope with her. And it was just one of those things we tried for weeks and weeks and weeks because we thought it was the right thing, but it was just not going to work. So that lady did leave, and the other 3 stayed. So we then reappointed somebody else, and she had actually come from an accountancy and admin background, didn't really know, other than her family, much about, she's somebody in the family with a learning disability, and she's been excellent because she's now sort of taken over some of the work, like rotas and jobs that are important and you've still got to do, but equally she had no idea of any kind of care background, and it was great. She just accepted Donna for Donna and went with that.